And now moving over to politics, as the special convention and presidential primary of the All Progressives Congress gets underway today, President Muhammadu Buhari has told northern governors of the party that he has not endorsed any of the 23 aspirants seeking to be the presidential candidate of the APC. During a meeting with the Northern APC governors at the State House, Abuja, President Buhari directed that governors of APC-controlled states meet with the National Working Committee of the party to fine-tune modalities for the selection of the presidential flag bearer of the party.
Well, the battle for the ticket of the party took another twist last night as the national chairman of the party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, shunned the party's governors who were at the national secretariat to have a meeting with him. And this was after the party's chairman went contrary to the position of most northern governors on power shift to the south. The national chairman of the All Progressive Congress and also announced the Senate President, Ahmad Lawan, as APC's consensus presidential candidate. We're now joined by News Central's chief researcher, Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for joining us and good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Now let's talk about this. It's a lot of drama and, I would say confusion, across, this conversation. But give us a sense of what you make of the ongoing lobbying and the power play and all the drama, with regards to these primaries.
Thank you. It is not surprising that we're having a lot of drama popping up ahead of the nomination of the party flag bearer for the All Progressives Congress. What we have seen so far are the power dynamics playing between those seeking to be strategically positioned ahead of 2023. For the president, if you know how the president's mind works, you will have been able to figure out by now that he's playing true to his colors. He's always, after achieving his goal of becoming the president, he really doesn't care about what happens to the party. That happened with his former party, the CPC. It happened when he came into power and there were wranglings, and he will not settle scores or settle intra-party issues. So that even at state levels where you have, dissent and discord between party members, he will rather allow you to figure it out. And so that was why he let the northern governors figure out what they wanted. He let the southern governors decide what they wanted. But again, Abdullahi Adamu, being a dyed-in-the-wool politician, has decided on behalf of the National Working Committee, as it is, and then the president has insisted that he has not picked a consensus candidate. In any case, we will get to know in the next few hours, who that candidate will be. Before he traveled, he made an appeal. And after returning, his body language is almost unpredictable. If you understand how he works, waits for the last minute to decide, then nothing happening now will surprise you about the president or the APC as it is.
All right, let's talk about the reaction from governor yesterday. We saw that the Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello staged a walkout from the APC governors meeting. Make us understand what actually happened.
Well, I wasn't there and I wouldn't know the nitty-gritty of the discussions, but I think he's objecting to certain decisions or probably pronouncement, and then he's stomped out essentially in protest. But that is not something not to be expected. I mean, he's coming out of that deliberation will still mean that there's a chance, for horse trading and realignment of ideas and values and choices. So we hope to see what unfolds, in the coming hours.
All right. Now, let's also talk about Abdullahi Adamu, the party chairman, who made the announcement that got everyone talking when he, of course, mentioned that Senate President Ahmad Lawan would be the consensus candidate. I've also seen rebuttals from, persons like Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, who, of course, should be dealing with insecurity challenges in his state. But, of course, he had time to make out that response. And, of course, Abdullahi Adamu's, statements are contrary to the stance of Mr. President. What do you think is playing out here?
I'm very confident that Abdullahi Adamu did not take that decision on his own. There must be other power brokers within the party who are trying to play smart or dance off the direction of the president, because a lot of people have realized within the party that the president is always indecisive, not clear about his direction, or probably until the last minute. So they are trying to figure things out, out of what the president wants, which is not to be, it should be expected. There are lots of forces playing out to see who takes the mantle of leadership. In any case, we don't know who and who constitutes the kitchen cabinet of Abdullahi Adamu. In any case, he is taking a decision. The governors have rejected it. The president has rejected it. The question will be, who are those who have influenced or informed him to make such a decision?
Okay, before we let you go, let's talk about, the expectations for today. Like you said, we've seen the power play and the back and forth that has happened within the camp of the APC. Over the weekend, we saw an announcement that they had agreed to push their weight behind a southern presidential aspirant. Yesterday, we saw rebuttals in the morning. By evening, we've seen more conversations about more northern governors willing to throw their weight behind southern presidential aspirants. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that they'll pull through with a southern presidential aspirant? And what are your expectations from the convention?
Well, for one, the only thing that will surprise me is if the APC decides not to leverage on all the possible advantages of winning elections in 2023. And by winning elections, it will require candidates that have strong followership, that have widespread acceptability within the party and the party cadre. And that may influence, or that is likely to influence, the choice of who becomes what. Again, I have no doubt that looking at the choices of the governors, because they are a solid base, a solid support system within the party, and their choices really matters. And they have made their minds clear about where they want the next president to come from. And it will very likely impact on the outcome of the deliberations today. Again, regardless of how it goes, what we hope for is peace and security in the country. If we have that, then political choices will be not at the mercy of political hirers and firers, but the best choice for the masses.
Well, we'll see how it plays out, and of course, like you said, the most important thing should be peace and security across the country, which doesn't seem to be getting more, a lot of the conversations, in that space currently. And there was also a very, very, interesting message that was put out by aide to the president, Garba Shehu, yesterday, that a lot of people have said they're pointing in a particular direction. But we'll look forward to talking about that if it becomes a major talking point. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for joining us this morning and for, of course, your time.